but it's over.
Alright everybody,
Farms
welcome
is
to another
burned
episode
down.
of
We're
Would I
free
Buy?
now.
No, Abe,
The show where I
just
try a bunch of random demos,
beginning. You
basically
may have escaped the murderous
talk about some of the
blades,
experiences
but
I've
not
had
the
with the game,
shackles you
and
chained
sort of
to
make a decision
yourself.
from that
But
of
we're
whether I
safe
would
now.
buy
Only
it,
for you,
whether I'd wait for a
you,
sale,
and
or whether
only
I'd
for
just leave
this
it alone.
moment.
Of course, then I like to invite you
This
guys
moment
to see if you've played it and get a bit of discussion going. And
is over.
as for this one, we're looking at Oddworld Soulstorm. Now obviously, I know I'm a little bit late to this one. I don't even know if the games came out before and then it's been re-released or not. But whatever it is, I think I've been out of the game for the Oddworld series for a bit. The last one I ever properly played was the Munch's Odyssey, and that was on the original Xbox. Now I were tempted once to buy a remastered version that were on the Switch, and I don't know why I never did, because it kind of, they are really good games. Like, I have enjoyed, I wouldn't exactly say I was the biggest fan, but I did really enjoy playing the original Oddworld when it came out back on the PS1. I really enjoyed it. I think there was a lot of like those type of platformer games where I think they were very much inspired by sort of like Flashback and stuff like that, where there were very specific controls. You had to get such precise platforming. Didn't feel like your normal like Super Mario type platformer or anything. So there was a very different style of platformer. I've said it that many times now, I forgot what I were going with this. So yeah, I have enjoyed the original Oddworld game. And then obviously Abe's Exodus came out, and I did play that. I don't remember as much of that one. I did enjoy it, played it, but I don't remember that one as much. Of course, as I say, I think Munch's Odyssey was it like one of the first games that came out when the original Xbox came out, and I just remember playing that, and I think I did really well. I really got into that. I thought it was very strange. I don't know why. I'll be honest. When I were playing as Munch, I kind of cringed. I think because he were travelled around in like a wheelchair and stuff like that. I don't know. I always felt like the adrenaline was going over. So weird. I don't know, but I really did actually enjoy that. I can't remember much of it. So when it comes to like Soulstorm, oh yeah, there was a Stranger's Wrath. Never really played it. I think I owned that. It makes me want to play that again though, because it kind of makes me miss the Oddworld games. Because when I got into Soulstorm, it reminded me so much of those old school days, and I really did enjoy it. It kind of really made me reminisce about those old school platformer days. And when it like got into the story, it does seem like it's pretty much a continuation. Now I don't know if it's a continuation of Munch's Odyssey, because I don't really remember much of the story, so I don't know if the story itself sort of delves much into Munch's area, but it definitely felt like it had continued on from the previous ones with the bad guy from at least Abe's Odyssey. There didn't seem to be too much talk about Abe's Exodus either, so whether it's just a direct continuation of the first, I don't know. I digress. But yeah, in terms of the gameplay itself, you are very much thrown back into it, and it is so lovely to actually see that they've really taken in what made those original Oddworld games like so special. And it's kind of strange, like when it comes to the controls, it's kind of nice that they've had the balls to sort of stick to that original type of gameplay, that old school type platforming that we got from like Flashback days and obviously the original Abe's Odyssey games. And at the same time, it kind of feels more precise. It kind of feels a little bit more modern and a lot more streamlined, I suppose you could say. Like there was a very high learning curve on the original Abe's Odyssey games. It took a lot of practice. You know, they were like Heart of Darkness as well. They followed those similar type of games, that similar type of platforming as well. But it's nice to see that it keeps the charm of the original, but at the same time it makes it a lot more accessible and easy. Well, I say that it is hard because there will be times, I will admit, like when it comes to moving up close, getting used to using the thumbstick took a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes it was very sensitive to the point where when you got some of those mines that you had to get close to, because it kind of worked on the old school because you could just tap the D-pad and you kind of got used to it, but I think it took a little bit more getting used to doing it with the thumbstick. Because the amount of times I'd just sort of roll and then I'd over-roll straight into the mine. But beyond that, that was just a learning curve, and it's not really a big deal. I think once you get used to it, it was absolutely fine. And it's nice to know that they kind of added a lot more, like I think there was a crafting system in this. So it's obviously taken inspiration from a lot of more modern titles as well in terms of that inspiration. The story itself, like I say, it still has all the charm of the original Abe's Odyssey games. I like the characters, I like the dialogue. They were all characters that I kind of felt for. Say, for example, he met up with one of the characters that looks like he was coming to at the end of his life, and I felt for that character. Yeah, and it kind of made me really feel for which I suppose shows how much it pulled me into it. Like, I have not played an Abe's Odyssey game in God knows how many years, but yet for some reason I still felt something for these characters. I kind of felt the impact, I suppose you could say. It's nice to see at the same time that it kind of, like I say, adds new stuff to it. In terms of, like, say, challenges, there were certain spots where you seem to reap rewards and it gives you like a bronze, silver and gold based on how well you do, and I loved that aspect of it, like where you had to protect, was it Medokans? I apologise if I pronounced that wrong to all Abe's Odyssey fans, but yeah, there was sections where they were all trying to climb up and you had to protect them, and I kind of like that you essentially got scored on how many you protect, which kind of is very much like the challenge that you'd see in modern games. So it's kind of nice that they've kept that old school charm but brought in that modern aspect to it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, to be honest. Now obviously the demo itself, it has the first 2 levels, and even the first level was only took me about less than 15 minutes. The second level took me a good 40 minutes. It was quite a long level, to be honest. It just kind of, every time you thought you were coming up near to an end, it kind of just keep on going. And I suppose by the end of it, I had to kind of look that once I'd reached the end of that level. Now at the time when I was playing it, I thought, you know what, I am ready for a break now. But now it's been a couple of days, like I'm reflecting back on it now, it's been a few days since I actually played the demo, and now it's actually kind of made me want to go back to play it. So I suppose that shows how much of an impact it really was, like reliving those old school days, and it had all the charm and the atmosphere of the original, so and I kind of want to go back to it now. So when it comes to would I buy, I actually think yes, definitely I would buy it. It's so nice to actually see Abe's Odyssey back, and it's so brilliant to actually see that he's getting the respect he did. I mean, it was popular back then. Abe was always a popular character, and it's never really been a situation like with Bubsy where he was hated, and then yet for some reason they tried to bring him back and it's just failed. No, I think Abe's always been a well-loved character. Now, obviously, in the demo, I never really got much chance to make use of like the speech, but it actually kind of looks like they've made that a lot easier as well. Like, I don't think it was quite as complex, the controls. It seems a lot more simplified, whilst obviously maintaining the is it aesthetic charm of the original, whatever the word is. But yeah, it sort of retains that from the original, and it's nice. So yeah, no, I would definitely buy this, and I kind of want to go back, obviously, and continue playing it. So at the same time, I kind of now also want to go back and play the original Odyssey games and actually go through them again. It's been a long time. But yeah, as always, that's just my opinion. And so, I mean, what about you guys? Have you played the demo? Have you already bought the game? Because as I say, I know I'm a bit late on this, but I just saw the demo there and I just thought, you know what? I really want to try that demo. And I'm glad I did. And it again sort of reminds me why I want to do this series. Because there's a lot of time where there's many games where they just kind of passes by, we kind of just forget about it. But seeing the demo there, I just thought, you know what, why not? I'll give it a try. And I am so glad I did, because now I'm like, oh my god, now, you know, it makes me respect a lot of games that's out there. But yeah, that's just my opinion. So if you've played it, obviously let me know. Did you enjoy it? Did it you not like it? Were you a fan of the original Abe's Oddysee games? And did you like this? Did it live up to your expectations if you have played it? And yeah, I'll leave it at that. And I'll see you on the next one. Laters.
Come on, let's go! Let's go!
Soon after, you will arrive at a fat station.
Okay.
From there, you follow the tracks east to the old trellis. We'll meet you there.
Okay.
But first, when you're at Fat Station, you gotta hijack a train.
What? Hijack a what?
A train!
A train? How am I gonna hijack a train?
We gotta run, Abe. We'll see you there. And don't forget the train.